You ain't motivated. This video is gonna change that. We're gonna amp up your motivation. I'm gonna give you the keys to actually manufacturing motivation. Now, here's the thing. It's become really common on the internet to say, you don't need motivation. You just need discipline. And I could yell that at you like a budget David Goggins. And I've probably said of that nature in the past. The truth is, though, you can actually manufacture motivation, because motivation is just an emotion and you can control your emotions. And if you can manufacture motivation, then you don't need discipline. Because here's the thing. Discipline means you're going to do it no matter what. You're going to grind through it and it's going to be difficult. Motivation means you're excited to do it. You jump into it. If you can actually be motivated and train yourself to be motivated, that's a lot easier than having to fight your way through whatever you're trying to accomplish. Now, I'm not saying discipline is bad. I'm not saying that by any means. What I'm saying is, if we can make the path easier, why the don't we do it? And you could do that by manufacturing motivation. So you don't even need discipline. You still want to be disciplined. You can use it if you need it. We want to keep our discipline in case of emergency, break glass, instead of having to fucking slug our way through everything. This ain't motherfucking He-Man. This ain't G.I. Joe. It's fucking real life. The key to motivation lies in a neurochemical called dopamine. Anytime you see somebody who's highly motivated, amped up, really getting after it, they're not using as much discipline as it appears. These are people who have high dopamine. Dopamine is a neurochemical that's actually responsible for motivation. You cannot have motivation without dopamine. The reason most of you guys aren't as motivated as you want to be, because you are squandering your dopamine on bullshit. Let me explain. In your brain, even your brain, you have what's called like a dopamine reserve. You produce dopamine every day. You have a certain amount of dopamine. This blue shit is going to represent the dopamine, and that's in your brain. The problem is when you do things that artificially spike your dopamine, you start to lose some of it. Right? Some of it goes away, right? So when you think about dopamine spikes, things that spike your dopamine, what happens is they spill out of that trough and they get dispersed amongst your body, and now you ain't got as much dopamine left. This is why after you play a bunch of fucking video games, after you playing Call of Warcraft for hours, you don't have a whole lot of motivation to do like difficult shit, right? Because you've used up your dopamine on that video game. And the video games are super fun, super exciting, but anything that's super fun and super exciting causes a spike in dopamine followed by a dip, because your body needs time to replenish its dopamine reserves, right? So it will replenish over time. The problem is you motherfuckers are consistently depleting your dopamine and you don't give it enough time for it to replenish itself. So what are some things that actually spike your dopamine and leave you unmotivated? I'm not saying any of these things are bad. I'm just saying that if you want to be more disciplined, you need to limit your participation in video games, scrolling on the internet, gooning. Some of y'all gooning all the time. Some of y'all on the goon squad. You wonder why you ain't got motivation? Because you got that bedroom. Looks like Spider-Man was in that motherfucker. You got goon juice all over the place, man. It looked like Spider-Man broke in your room and fucking started fighting villains, but it's really just you gooning. Here's the thing, gooning spikes dopamine. You wasting your dopamine on the palm of your hands. So gooning, alcohol, recreational drugs, partying, nightlife, lack of sleep. A lot of times dopamine is replenished from sleep and rest, right? So if you're not getting enough sleep and you're doing all this other bullshit, then you're not allowing your brain to replenish its dopamine reserves. And you wonder why you're not motivated. Number one reason you're not motivated is because you're wasting your dopamine on bullshit. I'm not telling you not to fucking party. I'm not telling you not to smoke the OG Dro Kush. I'm not telling you not to goon. I'm saying get your shit done first. Then you can reward yourself with a goon session. You got to earn that goon. If you want to goon after a hard day at work, I ain't got nothing against that. As long as you get to sleep and let your dopamine reserves replenish. But you want to use your dopamine on your goals. It's very important. So anything that artificially spikes your dopamine, right? This is one of the reasons, I don't do any recreational drugs. I haven't drank alcohol in over 10 years. If I do play a video game, it's only when I'm doing cardio on my exercise bike, and it's only after I've done all my work for the day. There's one more thing that's important about this. If you're doing these things that spike dopamine, the actual contrast that you experience when you try to do the things that actually will help you accomplish your goals is gonna be too great. If you've been playing Call of Warcraft while gooning and you high, you got a joystick in one hand, you got your own joystick in the other hand, and you hitting the bong in between strokes, how are you going to do accounting after that? It's going to seem even more boring than it really is because you're doing all this exciting stuff. But if you refrain from that shit during the day, then you'll have more dopamine and you can channel that dopamine, that energy into the things that will help you accomplish your goals. The next thing you need to do, start small. I once heard a story from Tim Ferriss, and he said, man, he couldn't get himself to floss every day. Gross, for sure. The way he got himself to floss was, he said, you know what, I'm just going to floss one tooth. And then he would floss one tooth, and the next thing you know, he's flossing all the teeth, right? And basically, he's going off of momentum at that point. Because once you start doing something, you can kind of get into it. So start small. If you got to write a paper, then say, hey man, I'm gonna do the outline right now. You break your goal into small steps. With everything you're trying to accomplish, whatever you need to do for the day, break it into small steps. And the way I do that is I break my day down into segments. So I plan out every hour of every day in my calendar. This is what my calendar looked like today. There's something on every hour of every day. My day is choreographed. Even when I go to sleep, even when I'm eating, my workouts. And what happens is like, I know I'm supposed to be doing this at this time. Once I start doing it, then I get into flow. Everything on my calendar is part of a bigger goal, a bigger mission. So I don't have to look at the whole mission, and because that can make you discouraged. Man, I got it so far to go. How am I going to do it? That can be discouraging, but I just look at today. And my job is to make today a victory. You do that by choreographing your day, right? So I have every hour of every day planned. Another thing that does is it stops the bad habits. And the bad habits are usually these things that spike dopamine and leave you less motivated to accomplish real shit. So if my whole day is choreographed, I'm planning out my day, I'm not going to put video games on my fucking calendar. I'm not going to put gooning on my calendar. But if I did schedule a goon, it'd be at night after my work was done. That's what you need to do. But I don't have to goon because my girlfriend got some big titties and she live here. So I goon in her vagina. That's what I call sex sometimes. Gooning inside my girlfriend. If you schedule every hour of every day, you'll get rid of almost all your bad habits because you won't have time for them. So you start small, schedule each day. And then the next thing you do, start tracking your progress. How do you plan out your day? Well, you take your big goal, or let's say you got this big goal. This trophy represents the fucking big ass goal. That's a trophy, right? You accomplishing your goal. And you map out all the steps you need to accomplish to get to that goal. This is a road. That's how you map it out, right? To get to that big ass goal. And then you break the steps up, and there's a lot of things you'll need to do every day to accomplish this goal. If you're trying to lose weight, you need to track your macros every day. If you have to work out every day, so you put your workouts in your calendar. If you're trying to get a degree, then you got to put study time in school in the calendar, right? If you're trying to learn a new skill, then you put time that you're devoting to that skill in your calendar, right? And you track how much you do it each day. And then you don't have to look at the whole goal. You just have to look at what's in front of you and just make today a victory and the next day. And you start stringing together victorious days. And here's the thing. Once you start stringing together victorious days, then you get momentum. You'll start seeing progress. And that progress will do motivate you. Anybody who's accomplished the fitness goal knows what I'm talking about. It sucks initially, right? Especially if you've never trained before, you never tracked your macros before. Once you start making progress and you start seeing some of the progress, then you start getting excited, you get motivated. And you start getting your dopamine from accomplishing the goals instead of gooning. And you start getting addicted to that. That's how people get addicted to the gym. You can start getting addicted to any sort of success once you start seeing progress. It starts with making today a victory. And if you start stringing together successful days, then you start making progress. And after a certain amount of time, that progress will be visible. And that visibility will be motivating. Even if you can't see the progress, or even if there's not a physical manifestation of the progress, you'll see the fact that you're stringing together successful days. And then you'll know you're making progress and you'll start to get addicted to that feeling. You know you're on the path to your goal. This is very important. Progress begets motivation. The cheat code, the ultimate cheat code to motivation is the list of hate and the list of great. Some of you may have heard of Sigmund Freud. He's the guy who said everybody wanted to fuck his mama. He was weird, but he was also the father of modern psychology. Sigmund Freud said every decision everyone makes is they're moving towards pleasure or away from pain. Fire represents pain. This ain't art class. I'm just trying to explain something to you, right? That's why everybody does anything, right? So this is motivation. You're motivated to move away from pain, or you're motivated to move towards pleasure. Right now, if you're unmotivated, the reason you're unmotivated is because you associate pleasure with gooning, drugs, video games, whores. These are just examples, right? You associate pain with hard work, reading, maybe working out, diet, etc. You don't have a motivation problem. You're motivated to do some things, but those things are bullshit. The way you change that, you change your associations with pain and pleasure. The way you do that is the list of hate and the list of great. Here's how this works. You write down a list of everybody who talks shit about you, everybody who said you couldn't accomplish your goals, chick who cheated on you, every chick who rejected you, everyone who ever did you wrong. And you look at that list every day. I start my day off with it. The reason is motivating because you know if you don't succeed, then the haters win. We can't let the haters win. If you don't accomplish your goals, then they weren't hating on you. It was just an accurate assessment of your capabilities. They were right. You're either proving them right or you're proving them wrong. Well, no, the list of hate will definitely motivate you, right? Because that's the only way you can punish these people, man. We can't punish them with physical violence anymore. So we got to punish them with success. Frank Sinatra said, the best revenge is massive success. Now, sometimes when I say that, some bitch will say, oh man, you shouldn't do it for her. You should do it for yourself. Shut the fuck up. If you had enough motivation to do it for yourself, you wouldn't be watching a video on how to be motivated, would you, bitch nigga? No, you on my list now for that shit. Thank you, because I needed that. I needed some more motivation, fuel to the fire. And also, here's the other beautiful thing. It makes you invincible. Because what you took what was a bad thing, what was negative, somebody talking shit about you, hating on you, cheating on you. You took what was a bad thing and you used it for good. There's nothing negative about that. That's a beautiful thing. Now, every time someone hates on you, you're like, right? And now you get to go harder. That hate gave you motivation to make you accomplish more. A motherfucker made a video talking shit about me today. I saw it on Instagram and I was like, this is good. I need this, man. I'm gonna give him something to hate on. He thinks he's ready to talk shit now. Wait till this time next year. Now, no one can hurt you by hating on you. Before, you used to get sad when people hate you, or you would feel something. Everybody feels something. Anybody who says they don't feel nothing is lying. But now you take that feeling and you use it for good. You use it to accomplish your goals. You use it to set up a better future for yourself, your family, your offspring. Every time somebody hates on me, the investment fund for my son gets bigger because I go out and make more money. So my son, if I died today, that motherfucker would be a millionaire. So I'm invincible now because of the list of hate. It can't just be a negative thing, right? You also got to balance that with the list of great. Imagine a version of yourself that already accomplished all your goals. You write down every attribute that person has. How does he behave? What are his habits? Does he follow his diet or does he put anything in his mouth like a whore, right? Does that guy skipping workouts? Is this guy gooning and playing video games all day? Or is he focused and determined? How does he behave? Make it an extensive list and look at that list every day as well. Look at both lists every morning. And what's going to happen is once you start acting in accordance with what's on your list of great, then you're going to get positive dopamine spike. You're going to get addicted to that feeling and there's going to be a positive reinforcement and you're going to want to do it more because you'll know that this is how you have to behave to become the person you want to become. And it becomes a positive feedback loop because you'll feel that reward and now you'll want to do it. What's it called when you want to do something? It's motivation. This is how you manufacture motivation. You'll want to do it because you want to be the man you need to be to accomplish your goals and because you want to shit on the haters. Now, guess what? You don't need discipline. And after repeated exposure to this list, what's going to happen is it's going to change your associations with pain and pleasure. So now when you want to goon and play video games, you're going to associate pain with that because you know if you do that, it won't be in congruence with your list of great. And if you do that shit, you know the haters are going to be win. The haters want you to not accomplish on your goals. They want you to play video games all day. The haters want you to chase whores. The haters want you to get drunk and high. And you'll start associating pain with that. And you'll start associating pleasure with the things that help you accomplish your goals. List of hate and the list of great is the only way I know to change your association with pain and pleasure. Your associations with pain and pleasure dictate all of your behavior, 100%. And if you don't change the associations, now you have to fight against it. You have to use discipline. And that can get fucking tiring. Now you're working harder than you need to accomplish your goals because you have to fight through your old associations with pain and pleasure. But once you change your associations, it's not discipline anymore because now you want to do this thing because you get pleasure from hard work. You get pleasure from studying. You get pleasure from working out. You get pleasure from accomplishing your diet. And you start associating pain with chasing hoes, video games, drugs, and gooning. You get what I'm saying? And now you're motivated. super motivated. If you want to learn more about how to plan out every hour of every day, I'm gonna leave a video in the description that'll show you exactly how to plan out your calendar so you stay focused like a madman. All right, go check that video out right now.